This is the upper room. Yeah, baby.
All right. Well, y'all liking our new intro there. We got to give old Zeke 5 foot freak his props on that one.
And you know it.
Hey man, we back. Glad to be back for another show. I'm the host King Cleveland, co-host Zeke 5 foot freak, and the legend that is Larry. I know it's been a long time, but we're back. And that's what's important. We hope that you will join in with us and enjoy this show. Hopefully we can get some callers, guests, male and female. But
we want them all.
Yeah, but I mean, we definitely want a female's perspective on this one right here. So with that being said, we'll get right to it. We're gonna jump into, what do we call it now?
It's still the Blitz.
It's still the Blitz.
Yeah, it's still the Blitz.
Still the Blitz.
Yeah.
And I'll let you go ahead and get it started. You know, this is your part. Anything that's controversial, this is what you like.
This one really not too controversial, but yeah, you know, the Boston Celtics head coach. Man, I keep butchering up his name.
Just say
Yaduko.
Is that right?
Just say the coach.
Just say the coach.
Yeah.
I got to get his name.
Yeah, we can't just say the coach because it could be any coach.
No, Boston Celtics coach.
Head coach.
But for whatever reason, I want to get it right. But anyway, he he got caught messing around with the vice presidents. Is that confirmed?
Oh, I don't know. I thought it was somebody else.
Yeah,
I'm getting the media relations. Yeah, I don't know who it is.
Suppose it's the vice president's wife.
I heard it was multiple women.
Be that as it may, the problem is that she's just not know anybody. She's just not in the cafeteria. She's somebody. And so again, but this is my issue about it though. Is that you got Brett Favre, Brett Favre, however you pronounce his name. He embezzled like $3 million. Is that about right?
No, they said it's 5, but then it says up to 70.
Okay, so it's in the millions.
70?
Up to 70.
Yeah. So the media coverage on that was to me minimum, but you know, was somebody messing around with somebody. And again, obviously it's a black coach. You know, it's all over the place. And so again, you know, I don't want to get into the whole racist thing. I mean, we know why. That is very obvious. But that was one of the issues that I had with it. It was like, the media coverage. But, and correct me if I'm wrong, guys. When it comes to disclosing relationships at the workplace, do y'all know why that's done? Does anybody know? I actually tried to research it. Like, why is that important for HR to know
who you messing with?
That's an employee, right? Do y'all know what's the reason? I know we got to do it, but why? Because to me, it's just you're just nosy. Like, why are you in my business? Like, what does that have to do with my work performance? Now I can see you messing around at the job. Okay, yeah, that's inappropriate. Okay, yeah.
But is it affecting your work?
Yeah, exactly. Anything affect my work. But what I do in my time, how does that? What does that have to do with the job?
Now that's a very interesting question because I'm pretty sure you all know I've been through that with my wife, and that came about at our job. And what was crazy and what was misleading about everything, I was doing what I was supposed to do, but whether I was cheating or whatever the case may be, was it affecting my performance? Then they tried to have my current wife now to come in and try to lie about things that I wasn't doing, like, is he implementing information into the system and all of that? And where did all that come about? Wasn't never late, had perfect attendance, moved up, became a team lead or a supervisor. What will and none of that was never questioned. It was like, you're doing a great job.
Yeah. And again, I really want to find out the reason. I got to do more research. But my you got something, Kim?
No.
My third issue about this situation with Yaduko, I'm gonna get it right. is that where was y'all remember when Jada was messing around with what's his name, Austin?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I was gonna hit on that.
Oh, you gonna go?
Yeah,
Okay,
well,
yeah.
but go ahead. It's just an entanglement. Then it was you know.
See, you with me, man?
Yeah,
Like,
but now there's the black man doing.
Yeah, where's that same energy, man? Like that's an entanglement, right?
Right.
Yeah. Now again, yeah, he
Still took him to the playoff.
no doubt. But you know, they've been together for 10 years. Now we could play technical games all day long. Obviously, they are a couple, a real couple. They got a child together. They've been together. Ami Uduko and Nia Long.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
They have a child
But
together.
see, you didn't say that. You said at first when you said they have a child together. Now the audience may assume that you was talking about the woman he was messing with.
Oh no. I was making a point that that relationship was real, even though they're not married. That was a real relationship. So I was trying to make the comparison because people was like, oh well, he wasn't really married to her. That's kind of entanglement. Well, comparing to Jade and Will, they were separated, but they were still married while they were messing around. But anyway, my thing is, he did it. Nia Long is a beautiful woman. And so you got everybody coming out talking about how can he do this to this beautiful woman? Since when do men mess around based on if the side girl is pretty? Like we always mess that up. We never really just go and get somebody better looking than our main girl because we acting out of
lust.
Greed, lust, power, control. So it really got nothing to do with how she looks. I mean, but that's it on that. But yeah, lust.
But the crazy thing about that, because I was researching it when you had brought up that we was going to talk about this on the Blitz. They were saying the young lady that he's messing around with or having the entanglement with, that he disrespected her at one time. But if he did disrespect her, and they started messing around, what that have to do with anything that happened in the past? Evidently, she forgave him.
Oh, so they brought all that up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Man.
Said he used cruel language with the female staff before the affair. But if he used cruel language and she forgave him and still let the entanglement go on, I'm pretty sure she forgave him.
So let's talk about Ami Uduko's decision making on this because of all the women. Yeah, bro. Why would he choose somebody that's on that level? I mean, she's a high ranking official in that organization.
Did she come to him?
See, we don't know that.
Yeah, we don't know. But I'm just saying, like, why would he choose that unless he had the thirst of the white man's prize? You know what I'm saying? Like, because she's an average looking woman. I researched her, man.
I haven't seen. You found a picture of her?
Yeah.
See, I wish I would have found that picture of her so we can upload it and let the world see. But
she's average looking.
I was looking for it,
so it couldn't have been about looks. So I mean, I don't know. I just it is strange. I'm not trying to put the man under the bus, and nor can I defend him either.
But could it be that maybe she was providing something that Miss Long wasn't providing? Or could it just be the gang of the chase? Or
like what? Like what? And I'm glad you're going there. Like what? Like is she doing it better or something?
It could be. I don't know.
You don't agree with that?
Yeah, because I always have an issue with women, bragging about how their private parts feel, and they all feel the same. And it just depends on how you move your body. And then they're always bragging about that, like they stuff is the stuff. And I'm like, it's all peaches and cream to me. Like this all feels the same unless it's just dry. I mean, am I lying? It's really based on how well.
I disagree with the well in the movement because
it is based on how well they move. That's what makes the difference.
Hey, females, we would love for y'all to chime in, and men as well. Some women may secrete a lot more. Some women may have that grabbing game.
How did we go get to this?
Because he's trying to figure out like basically the legend was saying it's all the same, and I'm saying it's not.
I mean, obviously, if you didn't have a few trying.
All right, now let's get let's kind of break up. We're gonna get into that, but before we go that far, I want to say that we will be transitioning from Facebook Live to completely to YouTube, and this is part of the reason. We're starting to get censored. We're getting they're even going back and blocking shows from 2 years ago. And you can see why.
I was just making a point.
Yeah.
But like the king said, we will be going live on YouTube. We are live on Facebook too, but we'll be going live on YouTube. And for those who are not social media savvy or don't do the social networking, we also have our own podcast radio station, which is on Station Head. You will have to download the Station Head app and follow the Upper Room. So that's part of the reason, because sometimes myself and the legend, we forget where we are being broadcasted at.
Yeah. So like I said, YouTube, that'll be the go-to. Just go subscribe to the channel. We'll post a link from time to time. Just subscribe to the channel. You get the same notification that we're going online, and we'll go from there. Now I know the second part of the the blitz, and we're gonna have to leave. What's his name? Coach.
I need Oduko.
Yeah.
Oduka. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, whatever it is.
You been duking them.
Yeah.
Hip hop.
Yeah, man. Hip hop, front or foe. And I honestly, man, I think this is a topic we actually can make a main topic in one of our shows. And I've already kind of thrown it out there, and me and the King, we had some differences on it. But since then, that's been like 6 months ago. Yeah, I'm truly convinced that hip hop is pretty much to blame of a lot of our issues that Black people are dealing with, primarily Generation X, our generation. And we definitely don't have the time for me to expound on it. I will touch up on it in our main topic because it does apply to the main topic. And I know it's a stretch, but I'll really explain, where I'm going with it. But I just kind of want to introduce it because to me it's pretty big. And I know we're going to get a lot of debate on it. It is part of our culture. There are some positives, but I'd just like to discuss the behind the scenes stuff that's going on with the prisons and the record companies and how this thing comes together. That's going against us.
So are you saying that the issue comes in with, let's say, the powers that be, the way that they're controlling it, or are you saying that it's just the art, so what, again, is the difference in that and me seeing Arnold Schwarzenegger blow away 37 people in 5 minutes?
And we both know that's not the same, because me watching The Terminator and me watching Commando and all those movies there's a certain vibration that these beats give off, and it's purposely done. And it puts you in a different type of mood. I can watch an action flick all day long.
So you tell me that let's just get away from action flick. Let's go to The Godfather or Scarface. Mm-hmm. Like, let's do something a little bit more realistic, because of course, the Terminator, Aliens, or whatever it is. Right. But let's look at The Godfather. We're gonna make you offer you can't refuse, or Scarface or something like that. This is a movie, a gangster movie, a non-Black gangster movie.
So now you're going deeper into the whole Hollywood industry.
Yeah,
which I was going to end up getting to that road anyway, but I'm just focusing on us right now.
Well, yeah. So my thing is, if you're gonna blame the cow, you got to blame the bull too.
Oh, no doubt. But we've been blaming the bulls for all this time. We can always track all this back to slavery, everything that we're dealing with. But I'm just getting to a point where I'm like, okay, yeah, we can do that and do that. What can we do right now?
Well,
what can we do right now?
Well, this is my thing. I mean, I can get in the zone, I can jam, but
and I still jam.
It's never once made me want to go out and kill nobody.
But see, my thing is with the lyrics is, I know all three of us know, especially how we was brought up and where we come from. I'm gonna say, and I can be wrong, but I'm gonna go on the limb and say 85% of these rappers not living or live the things that they are talking about.
Speak on.
We finding out rappers that's using the gangster rap that they gay, or they have an interest in men and women. You can't tell me that they was in their hood, that they was doing that. Yeah, we had what was the movie in Baltimore? The Wire. Is it The Wire?
Mm-hmm.
The Wire, when they had Omar, yeah, he was gay and he was a gangster, but I don't know too many gangsters that came from our neighborhood that was gay that I know of.
You might not know, but
and the world will never know.
Yeah. Man, dude, that's one thing, and I won't touch on that, but I'm gonna cut you out.
Mm-hmm.
You never know. You can only vouch for someone to a certain point. So it's just like if someone came and asked me about one of you, my first response is going to be no. Mm-hmm. But I don't really, I'm not, you know what I'm saying? There's no way I could be 100%. That's just like when somebody asked me about one of my sons. I would say no, but I can't be 100%. I'm not with them. The only person you can vouch for 100% is yourself. That's it.
Because you're gonna be with yourself all the time.
Exactly.
But going back though to what Otis was talking about, the fake gangsters, and like I say, this topic really can go a number of ways. And me and the King, we've had our discussions about Pac and Dre and Snoop and there's somebody else that I really have an issue. Q. These guys, man, really didn't put in the work that they're out there running their mouth about. They seen it, they heard it, but they really didn't put the work in. And so us three, we can sit up here and we can separate fantasy from reality, but a lot of brothers can't do that based on upbringing, based on education, based on a lot of factors. And so that's what I'm really focusing on. We all know that there's a lot of people out there trying to play gangster, trying to do that because they listen to these lyrics and they listen to these songs. And yeah, man, I mean, I can't lie. I mean, look, if you want to get in a certain type of mood, I ain't finna put on no Barry Manilow. I'm finna put some Pac on. Because that beat and that vibration is hitting directly into your spirit, your soul, your mindset, your psyche, and it's going to make you a little bit more aggressive. That's done on purpose. Mm-hmm. That's done on purpose. But like I say, man, we can go a whole show with this, King.
And let me say this about this, and this is just me, period. I know that I've been involved in some things, and I won't go into great detail about it, that
you're not too fond of.
Yeah, looking back, not too fond of. But one thing about when I did this kind of thing, well, I've never been a drug user, no kind. So, but anytime that I was put in one of those situations, I didn't want anything influencing me to do it. I wanted to be of clear mind. So I couldn't go back and be like, oh man, I only did that because I was drunk, or or you get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And so normally when you're in that state of mind and it's being clouded by outside force, you really don't care what's going on. People, and it's been some times that certain things happen that were going on, and I know on a couple of occasions you were around, and I'd be like, man, y'all probably just need to go home, man. Mm-hmm. Leave, and so that type of thing. But I mean, I don't know. I can't, and I guess we're gonna continue to disagree on that. I just can't get, because I guess I can only speak from personal experience.
Right.
And I know there have been cases where people say, oh, I was listening to Ice-T, cop killer, that's why I shot this cop, and this, that, and the other. But I mean, come on, shot the cop because you wanted to shoot him.
Yeah, but you just look at if you just go back and look at gangster rap, look at, I don't want y'all thinking, okay, I still jam Q, I still jam Pop, I still jam.
Spice One.
I know it was a Spice.
Ain't like Spice. Man, come on.
I still jam the Ghetto Boys. But again, I have that luxury of having a little bit more sense to separate it. But again, just going a little bit deeper, the simple fact that the private prisons and the record companies are in bed with each other, and they purposely want certain content put out there. And that's the thing that gets me, man. Like,
I can agree with that.
Yeah. So when I look at the bigger picture and I look at the people behind the curtains, when you pull that curtain behind everything, like, okay, yeah, we can sit up here and be like, hey, Murph, man, Pac wasn't really gonna make me go out. And really, Pac was, to me, one of the most intelligent rappers.
He was, if not the most. But when you look at, and I was going to use as an example, look at when before he went to prison. Right, and he always talked some street thug, getting drunk, this, that, But look at the change, the shift of his music, of his lyrics, of his content once he got to death row. It was just a total shift. But
so my question is, was that on him or was he?
That's more. Yeah, that's record sales. But this is another thing with a lot of people not understanding. French Montana brought this up, and I've been saying this for a long time. These rappers, when they get in these mega deals, now it has been exposed that these record companies are making them sign life insurance policy because you're doing these gangster raps, and you a gangster? Oh man, put that music out. But we're going to give you this mega deal or this big deal, but once they lay you down, we're going to get paid too. And they wondering why, man, he had all this money, they running in his house, getting all this jewelry and this and that, and the family don't have any money. I'm a Mo3 fan. I'm a Lil Bootsy fan, all they fans. But when this young man went down, his family struggling, his kids struggling, but you was making all this money, all this jewelry, all these cars. Nobody educated you on taking out life insurance, but I bet that record label did.
But okay, so that, to me, that falls on your team. You can't really fault them for that.
Talking about the record label?
Yeah.
So they just doing their job.
They doing their job. That falls on the team and your people that surround you. Because if you have to know that at some point this coming to an end, you got to know that, okay, if I'm gone, my family needs to be taken care of, right? So I can understand why a record label would take it out. Because now, let's say I'm a head of a record label, right? You the hottest rapper around. You a gangster rapper. You always in and out, and you couple shootouts, this, that, and other. So we get ready to put your new album out, right? I give you a $10 million advance.
You want your return?
I want my return. So what happened if you get killed 2 weeks later? That money gone. I need to be able to recoup who I. Right. You see what I'm saying?
Right. And I hear you. That's in a perfect world, and that's if they're actually operating.
I'm just saying.
But I am going to go because I'm a conspiracy theorist. No, I feel like some of them been taken out because these record companies they own the masters, they own all that. They still going to make their money, and especially the ones that's opening their mouth about the hazing or the initiation process to even get to the next level. And I'm up going to go there. P. Diddy is the gatekeeper of these. I mean, his name keeps coming up, messing up with those little boys. It was a B2K boys. And hey, man, it's a lot of stuff that's coming out, especially with him. Jay-Z is starting to get sprinkled in there too a little bit. I'm trying to be hesitant, but I know P. Diddy is number one. Okay,
let me go back to what I said about the insurance policy. I don't know who this rapper is. He go by the name of PNB, but the title was PNB Rock's Murder Plan. The theories blame it. Where PNB Rock and other rappers' death plan. The issue between rappers like Bushwick Bill and his label over insurance policies in 1998 is now becoming to light.
Well, now if what they said was true about this dude, PNB, whatever, they say them dudes was already there before they got there. So it wasn't they saying that it wasn't because she made that post, but they were already there sitting in the parking lot when they pulled up. Now, I don't know. Whatever. He could have told somebody. They could have told them. They could have been there waiting, or they could have just been opportunists. Somebody get out with all that jury on. First thing you know, I know his pocket's fat.
Yeah.
You know, but see, that's a whole nother thing. Even now, and this goes beyond rap, well, whatever you're trying to portray yourself as, it's about being smart. It's just like with me. If I go somewhere, man, I'm not finna go with no, and I don't wear necklaces and stuff, but I do have I'm not finna put that on.
And that's true. Because when we go on our trips, we don't got all that.
You know what I'm saying? So especially if, you know, I'm a wife, especially if I'm with my daughter, you know, because she can't fend for herself at all. So now now maybe if, you know, we decide to go out somewhere or something, yeah, put on because then now it is what it is, you know. But certain situations, you can't bring that upon yourself. You have to be smarter, and that's just what it is. And it's just like you was telling us about a situation earlier before we got. Sometimes you have to know when what is it, hold them and fold them. It's nice. You got to know. Okay,
I shouldn't have to tell you can't spit on somebody.
Yeah, I mean, so
unfortunately,
but no, what I'm talking about, when you just made the call to get out of that situation completely. You see what I'm saying? So, but anyway, we done went over a little bit on the blitz. We're gonna take a short break, and then we will be back, and we'll jump right in. I'm sorry about that. We'll jump right into the topic that we have planned for you. With that being said, we will be back shortly. on break than we expected. We had some spirited conversation
Backstage, always with the legend.
So spirited. I wish you could have been a part of that. So now what we're gonna do is jump into our topic. We wanted to. I wanted to actually get a female guest, speak on this, and I would have liked a male guest too.
If you out there, just say you want to come on.
Yeah, I mean, if you're out there, male or female, we can jump. We can get you on here right now
via YouTube, via Station Head, via Facebook.
Man, I want to look at them on Facebook. I want to be able to look at them.
Right.
So when we announce this topic, if you feel you have something to say, all you got to do is just send a message. I can see everything. That's what I just seen, Osha, High Cuz, those bronze. I seen Kerry, what he posted. I can see it. We can bring you on because we definitely like to have some input on this.
Can we read some of these throughout the show? Not right
Yeah.
now.
We definitely will. But with that being said, we're gonna jump into our topic, and this one kind of touched me, and I think you and I spoke about this a few weeks ago over a discussion on Facebook, right? And I think you jumped in on it, and so let's jump in, and we're going to talk about, do men actually over sexualize women? And let me just give a little brief. I would say yes, but there's reasoning behind it.
I agree with you on that one.
You see what I'm saying?
I agree with you on that one.
Right? Because listen, and so before I get, well, that's not every woman, because I know that's coming. So let me shoot that down right now. Before I get, that's not every woman, let me shoot that down. Not every pit bull is vicious and a killer, but they still get that title.
They still have teeth too.
Yeah, I like
that. Right or wrong. Yeah. So now when I say that is when you see every other TikTok video, every other Instagram video, Facebook, somebody bending over and twerking. What's the new thing now with Kevin Gates bending over, touching whatever, however he said, whatever, breathe through, whatever he's saying. My point is, when you put that out, you're gonna get eyes on you. I'm sorry. We are men. We were made to be attracted to the opposite sex, so we are gonna look.
I'm a visual creature.
Gonna comment.
Yeah.
Some gonna comment.
Some gonna. And then so the thing is, you get these ladies, these women who do these things, but then they call it unwanted attention.
No, yeah, they do. It depends on if they feel like you are attractive or they're attracted to you, then you can do that. It pick and choose. Not every man can make a comment on a woman's body, but if they like you, you can say whatever you want to say. Yes.
So, yeah. but why is that? Now you can get on any social media platform, have clothes on, bending over, letting people see your figure. And if somebody compliment on it, then they may get that response like, "Don't talk to me like that.
Don't disrespect me." but if the legend says something, they gonna think it's they gonna like
that. They gonna like that. So you already know you in like Flynn. That's what I'm talking about, hey, man. But that's one thing though. That's one thing. Now we all agree you're pretty, but confidence will take you a lot further than that.
For sure.
So when you make that comment, legend, it should be okay. because you're just confident in
Right.
yourself.
But it should be across the board.
It should be across the board.
It should be across the board because you put on those clothes for a reason. You know,
you want the attention.
Yeah, you got your chest out. You wearing
no bra.
But then it comes that I can wear what I want to.
Exactly.
Well, if you can wear what you want to,
I should better say what I want to say. Right.
You know, and I mean, so, and the problem is, and then so kind of touching on, and I wish she was listening right now. The young lady y'all kind of went back and forth with, and I tried to get her on, and she was like, "Nah, I can't do it."
See that? No, what? Now, see, that's another thing I don't like.
No. On the whole, when
the Facebook thing.
Yeah,
she
was
talking
about people looking at her daughter.
But see, this what kills me about our followers, and we really appreciate all y'all. Don't get me wrong, and we're not bashing. You will put something on Facebook because you want the comments and the feedback. But you're afraid to come on and discuss it. You'll have a lot to say on people's comments, but hey, let's have a talk, a face-to-face, because you would say, well, I don't want to come on like that, but you're putting it all on social media. So let's just talk about it amongst everybody.
Well, okay, so this is my thing about that. And I'm not talking about her specific situation, but you do have a situation when they say, well, when it comes to their daughters. All right. So one of the things she says that she has a teenage daughter, right?
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I don't know her daughter, never seen her. Really don't even know her. But besides, you know, that little interaction where I seen y'all talking to her and I kind of read. So, but anyway, you know, she says that her daughter gets unwanted looks from older men because of the way that she's, you know, shaped. Right. So now my whole thing is, now I don't know. So I'm gonna move on from her and just in general, period. You have a lot of young girls who are, like the old folks say, more built up than a grown woman.
Mm-hmm.
And the way they dress, that's gonna catch anyone.
Exactly.
Now, the problem should only come into is if a grown man finds out that she is underage and he continues to pursue it. Now that's the issue, right? But then another thing that we're saying is that grown perverted men are raising perverted boys. So you want all of the responsibility to fall on the male species, but not because these young girls are going here half clothed and you're agreeing to it. Let them go out and look like that, or they sneaking out or whatever. And or the boys are just seeing. Listen, let me back up. Mm-hmm. We live in a copycat society, right? So before you blame us, let's blame Cardi B and Nicki Minaj and them, because that's who they watching
and listening to, and they're allowing them to listen to
see this. Right. Because what happens is they come out with a new video. What's the
wow?
No, yeah, but no, what's the other girl? So you got Megan Thee Stallion, but the girl, no, this is the Samoa. Because I ain't, and I'm gonna go and tell on myself. But I'm like Nino, when I ain't going down alone, so I will call some names. When we was in Miami, we watched this video over and over. It was the video with Usher and the two chicks. This they song.
Let me look it up.
We really listened to the original song. It started off as a joke, then we found the video. It'll come to me. But anyway, my point is, so when you see stuff like that, whether it's grown men or boys, shit, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then so you see somebody come dressed like that. You find it?
No, go ahead. I'm looking for. I'm researching.
City girl.
City girl?
Yeah, that is. So my point is, so when you see stuff like that, it's put out there to catch your attention, right?
And so we can go with what came first, the chicken or the egg, with this, because
also the care.
Women claim they're doing that because that's what attracts men You know, so that's their way of, and then they claim that that's the only thing that we like. So I don't know. I've been in church before, and I've seen women dress provocative, and it's a pure distraction.
Speak on.
Like I had the same mindset. If I was in the club, I'm in track, and I'm like, damn, yeah, I like what I see. This and that.
Yeah, I mean,
you got the same mindset.
So when she jumped up in the skirt, yeah, I mean,
exactly. So
not wearing much.
Man.
Probably wasn't not wearing anything at all.
I mean, so you're doing it for a reason. You're trying to catch a man in church. I mean, it's not. We know what you're doing.
But it's just like at home, right? It's just like at home. You've been married.
Mm-hmm.
Zeke and I are both. It's just like at home. If your wife walked by with something and you at home,
she know.
If she can dress, she can dress, and then why are you?
You put that on for a reason, or put nothing on.
They don't have to say anything. They come right out the shower. They glistening, and they got that one particular outfit. Oh, it's on.
Tights. Leggings.
You already know those yoga pants.
but and I'm glad because I go through this all the time. I go through this argument all the time. Well, I'm gonna call me a perv all the time. All the time.
My wife be saying, "Oh, yes." But see, but it goes back to, and I'm gonna go back to what we said about the kids. I do not understand, because we both in the education field, myself and the legend. A kid could come to school, and we have dress codes, and they know they're not supposed to wear that. I guarantee you they don't walk out the house with it, but it's in their book bag. And the parents feel like since they have a book bag, they're not gonna check the book bag. Wow. So now when we call you to the school to come and get your kid because they're wearing something that's inappropriate, then you come to the school mad, and we trying to figure out why you mad. Because you know your child has a book bag, but you just assuming, oh, it's just books in there. It's just a tablet and folder in there. Or you leaving the house with the confidence that your child is just getting ready to go to school, but they know that you're gone, so let me dumb it down now. Mom and daddy gone.
Dude, I remember when we were young, and I can remember chicks stashing bags of clothes, and like when we would all go out, they would change, or either have on something under what they had on.
That's right.
And I just actually, me and a friend of ours, we just actually talked about this. I was bringing up something that happened back in the day. I said, yeah, you remember? I said, yeah, because he was talking to the girl. I said, she had on stuff after pulling off clothes when we went out. I'm like, so, but that's just that goes on, but yet and still, you want to place the blame. Now, no, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that no blame should be placed on these dudes that find out these girls are 15, 16 years old and they still trying to holler.
Now I had posed up
because I got a daughter myself, and I got a certain way that I deal with that. God forbid they ever have to. But I mean, but at the same time, when you look nowadays, and I'm gonna let you say what you say.
I already know about that. Nowadays, what you're saying.
When you look, like you say, you can't tell that this girl is 17 years old from a damn 30-year-old.
See, that's just what I was about to touch on. I had posed a question to one of my coworkers at my job, and I was like, is in days time, when we was growing up, we was always taught you don't never ask a woman their age. But nowadays, I think that should be part of the conversation because, like you said, you can go out and the way you dress. Now, men, we should know the conversation can throw me
out. When we were growing up, you can look and tell. It was maybe when we in school, maybe one or two. They can go out and you'd be like, yeah, I can see why an older dude would try to think she was older. But most of them not. They might be pretty, have a look of it, and straight them down.
But you can tell from the young girls, if you talk to them, they're young because of conversation. But just the outer appearance, you don't know.
I was looking at 8th grade Bearcat yearbook.
Look, hold on. Let me get. Mm-hmm. We just gotta say times have changed. Ask the age.
You should ask the age.
But like you say, but then you take the risk of offending.
I'd rather take, not me, I'm just saying, but if I was a male, I'd rather take the risk of offending them than not knowing. But a lot of times now, fellas, I can't side with you on this. You may see them and they look fine as hell, but when you have that conversation, you can tell now they may be of age 21, 22, 23, 25. Just the conversation is different. The stuff they talk about.
Well, now the problem of it is nowadays it's so generic that almost everyone has the same conversation. You look, I know I'm finna catch it for this, but nowadays, dude, I'm so glad I'm done. Mm-hmm. Because nowadays it's like these girls, women, they want to be paid to be in a relationship. So they all got the same fucking
same conversation. What can you do?
That's like a nerve, that legend. Okay, all right. Well.
Are you gonna pay my bills? You gonna get my hair done? You gonna get my nails done?
Listen, I just watched the video. And I look at YouTube, the content. I got another one. I was gonna jump on that one, but now since we hit that, I got to jump on it. Girl, the dude was there. He had like two or three homeboys. So she came, sat down, and he was like, you know, what you doing? This the fellas, you know, we chilling. She talking about, you got a problem with me? He said, yeah, well, you know, we chilling, fellas. And you know, won't you go in the back? She talking about, this is my house. He said, yeah. He said, but shit, he say, and she say, this is my house. Won't you go to your house or whatever? You know? Mm-hmm. And his response, he talking about, shit, I'm helping you pay your rent. Mm-hmm. You know? And so now you go back and forth with that kind of thing. But at some point, you know, it is you know, I'm giving you this, you give me, and man, it's
I think we've all talked about this. You know, I think we've lost our position in relationships, and we've lost our position in the household. We gave that away back in the 90s, man. We gave it away long ago. But see, in the 90s, to me, is where it peaked. It started in the 70s, but we gave it away in the 90s because our mindsets was pretty much like we want to be pimps. So and just stay with me on this. Stay with me on this. So remember how we may not have done this individually, but we esteem the guy that was able to go stay with a girl in her apartment, take her car, drop her off to work, roll around, maybe go sell a little
baby boy.
Exactly, the baby boy syndrome. And then
we got a homeboy who did it to the fullest.
Go pick her up from work and then go out, get another girl, go mess with her, come home at 4 a.m. and dare her to say anything. Now, on the flip side of that,
that's what you
the girls, the women, they were attracted to that. That's the thug lifestyle. They were attracted to that. So round and round we go. So you got the guys that's not being a man,
keep sweat.
Okay, you got the man, and you got the women that's attracted to that. Okay, so now this go through the 90s. At the same time, while these two dynamics are happening, the women are becoming more independent. They're still attracted to the thug lifestyle, but they're becoming more independent. They're the ones that's going to school. They're the ones that's climbing up the corporate ladder. And now all of a sudden, now 15, 20 years later, there's a spirit of, I don't need you. And I'm not attracted to that thug lifestyle no more. So that's not attractive anymore.
Because I see that businessman.
Well, yeah, but the point is like that has faded away, which was very popular in the 90s.
Now, she said it's a risk if you feel that. You want to risk your freedom. Yeah, and I mean, that's true.
But I'm still going to teach my daughter, like, don't dress like that.
Yeah, that's the main thing. But let me say that on what you just you just spoke on
the baby boy syndrome.
Well,
here we go.
About it, man. The women were attracted to 3 types of dudes, and here's the problem: that you got your gangsters, real gangsters who putting in work, right? Okay. And then you got your medium gangsters. These are medium thugs. These are guys, they are associated with them, but they're not really putting in work. And then you got your school thugs. Well, like myself, I'm associated with people, and so I can go and associated with.
Don't say.
We're
Yeah, we ain't gonna go
We're
in
not
that.
gonna go there. We're not gonna call people out. But again, because the women, they were attracted to that in the 90s.
Well, I'm just asking because I just told a story about how I used to tell you go home and then you're gonna throw that out there.
No, I'm not.
So I was
I'm not
directing
going
it
to
to me.
insinuate nothing.
Okay, all
I'm not
right
gonna
then.
say
All
nothing.
right, man.
But if it smells like that, and if the shoe fit,
If it smells like
they
poop,
walk like a duck. I'm just saying. But the point is, though, man, yeah, I think the 90s pretty much exasperated the situation that we're in right now, is where we're trying, the ones that are holding it down like us, we're trying to reestablish ourselves as the head, and there's a spirit. Not all women have tapped into their masculinity to take over, but there is a spirit of these women that feel like, I really don't need you. What do you bring to the table? And to me, it just it really, really exploded in the 90s, man. And like I say, I think about this stuff all the time, dude.
Well, let me say this. Two things. Let me hit 2 points real quick, and then I'll go and let Zeke hear what he need to do. And I know he watching because he made a comment earlier. Care. He and I had a discussion the other day, and we talked about how with having a male figure to show you the way, or either having an older brother, cousin, or somebody there. And he made the comment, and it didn't blow my mind. Well, it took me back because and it was so simple, but it was right. When he was saying that, such and such had this, or, showing this, that. And he said, dog, when it came to us, he said, it was just me and you. Mm-hmm. So we had younger guys when we was 12, 13, these dudes was 10, 11, following up our lead.
Blind leading the blind.
Exactly. But I really want to touch on this. I blame, part of the blame is the feminist movement. I know, man. I know I touch it all the time, but look here. Let me explain something. Caucasian women started the feminist movement. There you go. They recruited black women, right? We're going to all stand together. We're going to get our due. That's right. But then when it came down to it, they left, quote unquote, left their ass at the altar. They went back to their families and built up the white family, right? Well,
me and my husband going to work this out.
Yeah, while our women stayed, right? And we still yelling, we don't need a man,
But let's stay with that timeline, though, Wes. Are we talking about 70s?
That started in the 70s, but it's still relevant to today.
It is. But
it's still relevant to today.
My point, it exasperated in the 90s.
Yeah, because now,
it was a starting point. Though.
Yeah, it was a starting point, but now, because you get to that point, you blew up, but now to the point, so now, okay, you want to do that, but let me show you how I can pimp the game. Right? You want to be, I'm going to show you.
What you talking about now or in the 90s?
No, I'm talking about the 90s, because that's what happened. Now you take dudes who, after
we were young and dumb, man.
I'm not particularly talking about us. I'm just talking about when it started.
Yeah.
Right?
Because I just think that we was just kind of imitating what we what we saw.
So now you got dudes who, because it's just like with anything else. When certain people see a situation, it becomes an opportunity, right?
I want that.
So you see an independent woman who's doing this, she got on, she did that, and other. Well, shit, let me piggyback. Like you said, I'm gonna drop off.
Yeah,
right?
You pimping.
I'm gonna go when I drop off. I'm gonna doing what you're doing.
Right.
Oh, big.
We all do.
I'm gonna pick you up. Wait.
This car is
let's
my
go
car.
get. Let's
We all guilty.
Look,
hold
on. When I pick you up, man, watch how you put your feet up in my whip. So, so we gonna. So we gonna go get us a bottle.
And they were attracted to that though. It's not
knowing you got a certain time to go pick up and you're late.
It's not like they was going around protesting what we were doing. They were attracted because women have this thing, they're attracted to the thrill.
Yeah. So they're gonna call on their lunch break. Well, where you at, baby? Shit, me, EOB, June, we out there flipping. Sharing what she doing. You know how we doing, and thugging.
Okay.
Whatever.
I get off that
thugging. We just,
Right.
I'll be there. Well, I'm gonna drop them off. Look, I get off at 4, but all right, well, shit, I gotta drop OB off at somewhere at 4. So after I drop him off, then I'll be there.
No problem. Waiting.
But we created the monster.
We
created
who is we?
Men overall in the 90s, we created the monster. And what we did,
Because you can't.
because they don't need, because we taught them how to be independent of us.
No, that started back in the feminist movement.
No. That's where it started. I'm talking about our generation and how it's been passed down to the next generation, Generation X. We are the ones.
So you're saying the men or the women?
The men. We put them in position to become independent, even though they weren't acting independent, because they were attracted to the lifestyle. They liked it. They loved the fact that they guys so dope. They liked it sometimes when they went up inside their head. They can lie all they want. They like the lifestyle.
Oh, because he loved me.
Yes.
He's showing that he loved me.
They thug life, tatted, Tupac and everything. They wanted that. Now, as they got older, now they didn't develop skills of becoming independent of us. And now all of a sudden we lost that foothold in the relationship, not us individually, but as a whole.
But my thing is, can you show me an independent woman that independently don't need a man?
We know they do. But
why would they say that though?
But because they're dealing with all the hurt and the trauma and everything that they've done with in the past, and all of a sudden now, and then you got the feminist movement pumping
because that's what's being promoted.
Exactly.
But they won't tell their girls like undercover. I got me a little dip or side piece. They ain't gonna tell them that.
Yeah,
but they'll say I'm independent.
They all lying to do. Let me tell you something. They are all lying to each other, just like fellas don't hate me. We used to lie to each other. Man, fuck it, I ain't shit. Soon we leave the house, get a call. Hey, baby, what's up? I'm on the way now. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. It's all about perception. It's all about this image I want to put out there.
But we got it.
Dude, let me tell you something. And I can speak for myself. And I know that, we've been friends forever. Mm-hmm. You and I stay right around the corner. You and I used to be together every day. And I know that you, the other dudes and stuff we had a certain perception of me, and probably 90% of that was fucking wrong. Mm-hmm. But I'm not gonna sit here and change it because it make me feel good. It make me feel good.
You the man.
I do. I can remember us going.
You redeemed
the
evidence.
Yeah. We used to go to the parties, and I would get there, and we didn't even know these people. And they just fucking them. Yo, shit, I'm gonna go with it then. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go with it. And but that's just what it is. So women do
the same thing.
Dude, let me tell you, let me get to this. I watched the video, and the woman saying how she wanted to be in a fulfilling relationship. She used to be one of them chicks that sugar daddies taking care of this, that, and the other, juicing dudes. And they was like, well, she said that's why she don't have friends now. She said because those same people who's supposed to be her friends were egging her on to get that money, girl, get this. You know what I'm saying?
Imagine that.
And now, they wouldn't know where. And she said it was all BS. And now it's, they're nowhere to be found. Mm-hmm. She said so she can do without that. Mm-hmm. Crazy, but
has something on
let's see. He said men created it all.
Well, that's what the legend said.
The Civil Rights Act of 1964 gave rights to women. Prior to, women had no right. Dude, people are people. I can't agree with that, Kerry, because you can't sit and say men gave because they gave them rights. That's just like saying we as black people had no rights.
But during that time, though, women were
But-
taken care of.
But what I'm saying, and you gave them rights, but they took it a step forward and made it a movement. Well,
made
it a movement to cut the man out altogether.
Out of the
Yeah.
house. There's a movement to get us out. The alphabet people and the feminists, they
Right.
just like this. They're in bed with each other. And there's a movement to get the strong,
Let me-
masculine
okay,
alpha man
Let
out
me
of
let me ask you. I don't want to cut you out. Curious, since I know you watch. You willing to come on? You can text me. You ain't got to put it on
KB,
here.
come on, man.
You can text me. We finna take a break right now. You can text me.
Hey, but we not just calling on our brother. We want to hear from a female too, because a lot of times people feel like we bashing the women.
I want to get him on
not.
because it's all, I want him to say his words and not me read his words.
Right.
You see what I'm
I
saying?
don't want to interpret it.
Yeah. Because we're gonna have two different interpretations of it. You know, again, he and I are another, kind of like you and I, we don't always agree. We, on what's what, but
Can we agree that there's a quiet war going on between men and women, specifically
black men. Oh, yeah.
What you mean?
It ain't quiet.
What
no
do you
more.
mean is the quiet?
It
war?
ain't quiet.
Well, because we dealing with so many other fronts. We dealing with racism. We dealing with the justice system. We dealing with the governments. That's overt. We know that's big. We know that. Okay, but there's something else that to me just as much or even more damaging, and it's the war between our own. I'm not even talking about black on black crime. I'm going even closer than that. Our own wives, girlfriends, sisters, mothers, because there's
and not only that, the kids too.
There's a spirit of independence, which is nothing wrong with it, but like the king said, it's gone too far and it's to replace us. Women brag all the time. Why would I need a man? I could raise a son off. Yes, you can. There's a lot of women that have done an excellent job in raising boys, but guess what? Those boys are not taught to control their emotions. And a lot of us are guilty of that because the way we respond until we really grow into our masculine selves, women, you see it all the time, holler, fuss, cuss. That's because they're emotional beings. We haven't been taught how to, man, you need to be cool, calm, and collected, make a logical decision. We quick to respond just like a female. That is feminine energy. But that's all a lot of us have seen growing up. Women have done the best job they can, but you can't raise a boy. A woman can raise a boy like a man can, and we can do it in less words and less actions because they're watching us on how we operate. But when we're not in the house, they don't see that. They only see the way that their mama is reacting, and she can be cussing them out, telling them, you need to be tough, you need to do that. But at the same time, those feminine characteristics of overreacting, always in your emotions, always, that is a problem in our culture.
King, you got to know when to cut him off.
Well,
going on.
well,
hold on. Can I say this
go
before we take
ahead.
a quick break? It's a video that we posted on our Facebook page as well as on our Instagram, and this is going to be quick. And what's emotionally and disturbing to me is it was a woman who's a psychiatrist that had asked a female young lady, do you want to have kids? And she said, yes, I would like to have 2 kids, but I don't want to be married. And she said, why? And this young girl said, because if you get married, you cannot get child support. So in her mind is she hearing from her mom, who probably not married, that have kids, siblings, hearing that, yeah, your dad ain't paying child support. But that's all I have to say before we take a break. Hey, please, if you're following us on Facebook, if you want to come on the show and you don't want your face to be seen, I know the King we want to interact, but you can come through Station Head, download the Station Head app, follow the upper room, and we can hear your voice, audio. Our audience can hear it, and we can talk that way too as well. I'm done. That's all I have to say.
Okay. Well, I will say this: we do have a guest gonna come on. But
is it KB?
Yeah, you're gonna come out. So, but let me say this, man. I think that's like anything else. Is based on an individual. Because I grew up in a single parent household, just me and my mom. Mm-hmm. So and I took it that I had to step up and be the man of the house. You know, I couldn't sit back and hide, hide behind her. And, I don't get me wrong. I love my mother for everything that she did, she done for me. But now with this, I will agree that there were certain things that she couldn't teach me. She didn't teach me on how to be the man, how to be a man. And so this was something that I told my sons, you know, she couldn't teach me how to be a father. So, like I used to try to tell them, dude, we going through trial and error together.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
growing
Yeah.
with you.
Yeah.
As you
That's
growing
big.
up,
That's
I'm
big.
growing as a father.
That's big.
And it was just the truth. And I know, a lot of people might not want to say that shit,
Hmm.
but that's just what it is. I grew,
That's real.
dude, they helped me just as much as I helped them. You know what I'm saying? It probably not more, because now some of the stuff, the mistakes I made with them, I don't make with my daughter.
That's right.
That's big, bro.
And dude,
They were the experiment.
I went back and I apologized, because
That's
before it was just like it was my way, no fucking way. But now this early the day before we got, I was so flustered with this, trying to get this stuff together, that I yelled at my daughter.
Yeah, I was in there.
Yeah.
You ain't take up on your niece, man. You ain't take up our niece, dude.
Anyway, as much as I hear this motherfucker yelling, but I ain't gonna get it. So I went back before she left and I apologized to her. That's something that 15 years ago I would have never did.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So listen, man.
That's real, bro.
But and it's just as people, and whatever we're talking about right now, it's all about growth. But
Yeah,
anyway,
but it ain't people, man. We talking about Black African American men, because we didn't have that. And like with us growing up, we helped each other grow. Because it's easy for the king to be like, hey, Zeke, you wrong. Hey, legend, you wrong. We don't want to hear it. May not talk to him for a week. But I mean, it is what it is. But go ahead.
All right, man. With that being said, listen, we're gonna take a break, and after we go back, we're gonna have a guest, and we're gonna let him speak on what he wants to speak on himself.
We can't get Ms. Little to come on. She don't want to come on.
Nah, she ain't say nothing about coming on. She a background warrior. But anyway.
Probably ain't got her hair done. You want to have the hair done,
What
makeup, and all that. We don't need all that.
Okay. She said, "Wow," or was that before that?
Oh, but anyway, Legend got his makeup on. He don't want to put on makeup on the set.
All right, we're gonna go to break and we'll be right back. Let's get the topic back up here. Let's get the topic back up here.
Yeah.
Do men? Oh no, that's the wrong one.
Hey, remember this is our last show on Facebook Live. You got to subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Really over sexualized women. Okay, so now what we got? We got a brave soul who's chosen to come on and and speak his piece.
But KB not really a brave soul.
Yeah,
he comes on our show.
He's a champion of the women, man. He's a champion of the women. We even had somebody, but that's what they put. I'm gonna put it on here. It was she put on here. Please discuss his comments. He's becoming quite popular.
See, sometimes KB educate people too, man. It ain't just us.
But anyway, but before we bring him on, I'm gonna go ahead and bring him on. I'm gonna bring him on. Once I bring him on, and
let's get it.
We'll let him talk about who he is and whatnot. So let's get him on. Let's talk about who he is. Here we go. Yeah, there you go. Change the shirt and everything. Well, look at it. You're a champion of the women. But look, all jokes aside, man. You not. And so I always like to allow people to speak and promote themselves, but before you do that, let me promote you a little bit, man. Yeah, I hear the echo on it. Do you have it on something? Yeah, I hear the echo on it. Do you have it on something? Ain't nothing else on this. Just close it out. Yeah, just close it out. I don't know. You don't have a double up.
It could have been he was on his laptop.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, that he was on the phone or something. But let's see if we can get him back. See if we can get him back on here. Yeah, but that's not on this. But anyway, before we get him back on, I watched this young man come a long way, man. We grew up together. I've been knowing him since he was 8, I was 7. Evidently, I see that his internet ain't worth nothing up there in DC because he getting kicked out of here. But watch him come a long way. He's actually has his own app.
What?
Yeah, he has his own app that's in the Apple Store, and I'm gonna let him tell you all
that's what's
about
up,
it.
Man.
And man, I couldn't be more proud of him.
Man, don't tell me what kids from Galveston, Texas can't do.
So we're gonna bring him on, man, and kind of let him blow his own horn a little bit.
All right.
And then we'll jump back into what we're doing. Dude, you laugh, man. I'm always behind closed doors. I cut you down, man. But in the public, I'm gonna promote you, man. So without further ado, we're gonna get him on here, and hopefully we don't got no echo. You echoing now?
Nope.
Hey, man, family.
All right, man. Give us your resume, man. I already put it out there about your app, man. You can reach a few more people, man. We're gonna get some people signed up now. I gotta get my cut. How I do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you already know.
Yeah, man. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, man. To the viewers, man. K Bell, man. Galveston, Texas, man. 409 boy, always, man. Out here in Virginia. Right now, I'm at, getting ready to do some things. But yeah, we got the little apps in the App Store called iValue. The purpose of the app is to help people understand the difference between market value and intrinsic value when we're talking about stocks, right? And so you see a stock, and the stock may show $152 a share. However, the intrinsic value of the company, what the app does is pull all the financial information from the company through a 10K report and gives you the actual intrinsic value of what it's really worth. And so from that point, if the intrinsic value is higher than the market value, it's recommended that you get that stock. Whereas if the market value is higher than the intrinsic value, then it's overvalued in the market.
That's what's up.
Hey, do you have the cliff notes on what you just said, brother? One financially.
Hey, man, I'm talking to educated brothers, so I shouldn't have to have no cliff notes.
I ain't that educated, KB.
Hey, man, then we gotta get together. We gotta get together,
man. That's what's up, though, for real.
Yeah.
Hey, KB, I'm doing it right now, bro.
Hey,
well, let's jump in here, man. What we got here? Okay, let's man, listen. Speak your piece on what we've been discussing here, man. Do you feel that we as men over sexualize women?
So to keep it 100, man, like there's no doubt about it, right? Because we were conditioned in an environment that objectified women from the start, right? When you understand historically where it comes from colonialism and Victorianism and back all the way before that, man, where men created the world, women just were participants in it, right? Even if you start with the Bible, and it starts off with in the first chapters of Genesis, God created man first, and then He created a woman as a partner, right, to help the man. So a woman never had from the beginning, right? If you go from Genesis, bro, from the beginning, women never had the same rights as men. So when you really talk about a feminist movement, you got to understand you're talking about thousands and thousands and thousands of years of women who really were side pieces, right? They were arm candy, right? And
KB, I don't want to cut you off, but why do our women, when we have that conversation, and some of them may think we're trying to be funny, but when we have that conversation, why do they have a problem with that? Is it just the black women? Is it all women? Or is it, I don't know, is it just a stereotype?
Man, I can't speak for all women. I'm definitely not going to try to do that. Somebody's going to get me in trouble. So what I'm going to say is, what I'm going to say though is again, right, we are all conditions of the environment that we grew up in and we continue to live in or we play in. And so when you ask the question of why a woman responds that way, you got to understand where she came from. If she came from an environment where ain't no good men around her, then she ain't gonna believe in this good men. And then, like all of us, we came from an environment like the homie was saying, when you got the blind leading the blind in my neighborhood, it was maybe one dad. I remember the only time I seen a dad at a baseball game was when Larry dad would come to watch him play. You feel
when
me?
I tell him that, he get mad about that.
So when you really talk about why, you got to understand we're all conditioned, bro. And so and all conditioning means that we learned it from our environment. Like we've said this many times, where you see the dope man running down the street with the whip, with the money, with the clothes, and you like, man. And then you see the cornball like me with the backpack and the saxophone. You're like, nah, I don't want that dude. I want the dope boy. Or even better, you see the athlete. That's the one you got the athlete that's been protected because he got talent all the way through high school. And then by the time we finish high school and the Galveston ball days are over, and you're like, damn, whatever happened to old boy? No one really, because ain't nobody protecting him no more. Society don't need him no more, right? And so that goes back into our community. And so then you say, okay, well, why is it that old girl, just won't just sit down for a minute and just listen to me? She ain't been conditioned to do that, bro. She been conditioned now to fight for hers because for thousands of years, and all the way up to here where we are in time, we've been wrong. Just call a spade, bro. Like y'all was saying it earlier. Hey, baby, listen, I'm about to go pick up OB. Yeah. Look, you already done, hold on, check it out. Now check the move. I'm gonna give the secret. You'd already done baked in 45 minutes from the start. That's extra 45 minutes now, right? I know all y'all married, so I ain't gonna get nobody in no trouble. That was a long time ago. But you understand, like that's the game, man. Look, the game don't change, the players change, man. We just got old.
Ain't nobody doing no dropping off now anyway.
Look,
but anyway. So, but let me ask you this. What is your thoughts on the role that women play in the over sexualization of themselves? And so, like earlier, if you paid attention, we talked about the way they dress. You know, every other TikTok video, FaceTime or whatever, I mean, not FaceTime, Facebook or Instagram video is a woman bending over, twerking, telling you know, just all of that. And so one of the things that I said, and then of course they're gonna say, well, that's not all women, but like I said, not all pit bulls are vicious killers, right? But they all get it's a blanket over all of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to that. So when you see a woman who may not have ever twerked a day in her life, but you see her walking, she could have just came from the gym with a little shirt on and some leggings.
We still don't get that compliment.
You looking, right? So what's your thought on that?
So again, I got to go back to the beginning, right? So if you go back to the beginning and you say, all right, so most women back in the day, they were covered up, right? They were covered up, head to toe, covered up. Your grandmama, your great grandmama, big mama them, right? Then at a certain point, this thing called marketing took off, right? Where, you know, sex sells, man. Like beautiful women always sold. If you go back historically and you look at Sports Illustrated, you look at Maxim, you look at Playboy, you look at, that's what sold. So with the evolution of time and the evolution of technology and the evolution of things, and now that you have the power to promote yourself, right? And now you can get paid off of being objectified. So now we've created an industry of objectification, if you will, right? And so to ask who's to blame, I go back and I say men, because at the end of the day, women have.
But how can you say men? It to me, it seems like it's society as a whole.
Yeah, but
because I can't objectify you if you're not willing to be objectified.
Oh no, I remember. Hold on. I said this in my text. You get three things when you're born. If you got a logic mind, you get free will, you get choice, and you got chance. So you got the free will. Everyone has the free will to make a decision, which is your choice. And based on your choices will determine the chances of probability of survival and success. So everyone has that power. However, we can influence someone's choices.
But KB, but my question is, I understand as men, we really want to influence your choices because we see what we see, we want what we want. But when do the parents step in and be like, nah, you shouldn't be doing that? Or if I was labeled as the street name, or I wasn't doing what I was supposed to do, but I don't want you to fall into this realm. But the young lady or the young man seeing what their mama did, or what their daddy is doing or did, even though we tell them that, or the parents tell them that, why do the parent, and I know when they get out the house, we can't stop what they're doing, but why does it still be allowed? Because my thing is, if I got to give the arm and hammer, I'm going to give you that. Like, you ain't going to do that. Or you need to get the hell up out of my house. But we'll still say, my child. I know, and I'm going to put this out there, and I ain't saying I'm speaking for the legend. But when we get into these schools, a parent can come up here and defend their kid, but when you come up here, you dress the same way they dress.
Yeah. That's conditioning, bro. But that's what I'm saying. The mindset, you got parents that are children, bro. Like, you got to understand, like, this thing is man, this thing is real powerful, man. Your environment is so powerful in your conditioning that, like, you just mentioned something. You say we got kids in school that are in trouble because of the way they dress, and then their parents come to school, and you look at the parent, you're like, oh, I get it. Your child think this is okay because you think it's okay, right? So when you think about it, you say, oh, okay, well, who started that, right? Again, I got to go back and say, men create everything. Men create it, right? Now, I'm not saying we're responsible 100%. No, because you have choice, right? I have a choice. You have a choice, right? As we're all of sound mind. If you see something that looks attractive, you got a choice to either A, look at it and keep moving, or B, look at it and move toward it. That's a choice, right? But that's based on your conditioning.
Gary, to a certain degree, I do agree with you. Do you believe that the powers that be, the people behind the curtain, they're playing a much bigger role as far as taking the man out of the home? I agree. We are responsible as men, but also too, and again, I'm a conspiracy theorist, man. Everybody knows on this panel, I believe in aliens, I believe in Illuminati, I believe in it all. And, but when you pull that curtain back, there's some things that's going on. The big machine is really pushing some buttons here, and it starts with the feminist movement. And so when you talk about the conditioning and everything, man, I have to put some more responsibility on the big machine, and we have to recognize where the fight is taking place at, man. And but men do have to take some responsibility on where we at. I agree with that. I guess I'm just kind of torn with that. Basically, I'm asking you, what do you think about the powers that be and their role in all this? Is he still there?
Yeah.
So I mean, first of all, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, right? I work for the federal government. I'm a CIA officer, and I don't believe in conspiracy theory, right? I've seen enough to know that we're here because of choices that we've all collectively made, and there is no one pushing any buttons, right? So with that being said, I now have to say, do I think there's someone pushing buttons to keep Black people or Black women or Black men in their current positions in life, stations in life? No, man. I'm from 28th Street, Galveston, Texas, man. I got a double master's degree. I've been around the world, right? I know you guys. We speak like we back on the block, right? That didn't change me. I still got the block from where I'm from inside me, right? But the reality of it is the more we individually make the right choices, and lead by example in our own homes, then it permeates out, right? You can't go fix somebody else's house, man, if your house is not straight. It just don't work that way, right? And so many houses are broken, and we don't have the church no more. Remember, these are the institutions we used to have. The church, we don't have that no more. The schools, we don't have those no more because their business is controlled by the school board, right? The next time I know you guys are in education. How many Black dads show up to these PTA meetings?
Sure.
Again, I'm just keeping it one.
Me. Just everyone.
So what I'm saying is like until we're really ready to be accountable for our culture and accountable for our actions and accountable for our future, then it's never going to change, and it's going to always look like a conspiracy to the people who are actually looking for conspiracies. Like what you look for, you find. What you put out in the universe, it comes back to you. That's what I firmly believe.
I believe that wholeheartedly. I believe that.
And so I try to put out good, and sometimes good comes back. But again, I'm not perfect. Me and my sons, just like I heard you guys say, me and my sons go back and forth because they still young bucks and they think they know it all. That's just a part of growing up. You just got to do it somewhere else. You can't do it here, but you can go do it over there somewhere, and you can come back.
You know, that's a discussion. Matter of fact, you and I just had the other day about that, and we've had several times over the year. But I do want to say about the whole feminist movement thing, and it depends on how you look at it. You say you feel that it falls on the man. Now I will say this about the man. I don't think that the movement can go anywhere without men. And so when I say that,
That's fair.
I mean, okay, let me give you an example. Look at like the WNBA, right? Sucks. Not the level of basketball, because they can hoop. But when you look at,
They don't advertise it right.
they don't do that. They
don't have the endorsement deal.
The crowds, none of that, right? So what do? They blame us for not supporting them. So my question to you is, where are all the goddamn feminists? Why they not going to the games? It should be packed with buzz cut. I'm just saying, with buzz cuts and everything, right?
So
I mean, we laughing, but it's true, right?
Man, we're about to get
nah, man. Hold on.
Hey,
Ain't nobody gonna listen. Ain't
Karen,
nobody gonna
see what you
support
started?
you.
See what you started, Karen?
Ain't nobody gonna support you if you don't support yourself, right or wrong. If you don't believe in you, ain't nobody else gonna believe.
Fair. I'll agree with that part.
Okay.
So I'm going to say this. I'll say this. So one of the things we never learned in our community is business. We never learned business. What we learn consumption, right? That's what we learned in our community. We consume.
Right.
So when you think about business, the reason the NBA is a business and the WNBA is not as successful is because the reality of it is that if you think about our communities, go look at girls' basketball game. How many people at a girls' basketball game? Not that many.
Right.
Go back to a high school.
Just a parent.
Right. So it to me, it's just no interest in women's basketball. However, it's probably the most fundamentally practiced game by women. That's as fundamental as it'll ever be. Because men don't play.
Oh, it's more fundamental than the men game.
But
I give them
exactly. Because what you go to a man's game to see is you go to see people jumping over people, slam dunking on people, shooting from half court. You want to see a fight every now and then. You want to see a guy like Anthony Mason come through, put some hands on some people. You want to see Jordan. You want to see all these names. Like when you think about it, because I saw something the other day that said LeBron James makes $37 million a year or something like that. And Sue Bird, some lady that's about to retire from the Seattle women's team, she's made $30 million over her whole career.
He makes more in a year than they whole league make.
Now, but here's what you got to ask yourself. It's all about the revenue, bro. If the WNBA brought in $11 billion a year,
I agree. 100%.
It's another thing. But they don't.
I agree 100%. But what I'm saying is the support. So you have these feminists that are complaining about
but
this, they're not supporting their own movement.
Yeah, but that's people, bro.
But you
said it blames the man, though. That's the point.
Listen, don't come to me crying because you got a flat and I can't fix it, but you won't have a jack.
Hold on. So I don't disagree.
I'm just saying.
Hey, that was a good one.
I agree that you shouldn't complain if you're not going to support. I agree with that. Like, why would you complain if you're not supporting it? However, what I'm saying is, that no different than I'm not on Instagram. I'm not on Twitter. I don't want nobody following me, to be honest with you. That's just not how I was raised, right? To be following and putting everything out of people so they can see it. However, that doesn't make Instagram a bad place or Twitter a bad place. My point is to say the WNBA is being subsidized because they're trying to make it successful. That's just what they're trying to do so that women don't have to go play overseas. Now, if you understand that, okay, I get it, right? You guys are subsidizing because you want to make sure, women's sports take off in America. Okay, cool. Makes sense. right? But it's still dollars and cents. Is what it really comes down to.
But hold on.
No.
What did you just say? Sales. What did you say? Sales earlier.
I said earlier, sex sells.
Okay,
Hold on, KB. No.
Okay, and that's what the KB. That's what the WNBA is doing now because they know everything ain't selling. So now I want you to be a model. You got to show them that you have a feminine side. But then you may have these women, nothing against women that like other women. They may like another woman, but you making this woman put on a short dress for the legend to show some attraction to her when she ain't gonna show no attraction to the legend.
Listen, first of all, everybody know the legend of Pretty Mother. So we ain't got to that's the original. Hey, that's the Galveston Chico the Boys right there, man. Look here though, for real, on some serious stuff, man. The reason why I think a lot of women in the NBA are doing that is because they're seeing the marketing dollars in their brand, right? I mean, no different than Jordan didn't make all of his money playing basketball. He made it in advertisements. That's what
made more.
He made more, right? So LeBron is no different. You look at all the most successful athletes; they're not making the most of their money in the sport. They're making it in advertising. So that's what the women are doing, and I think that's a cool thing. But if you really wanted to talk about, whether or not they're objectified or sexualized, take them out of basketball uniforms, let them play basketball in bathing suits, and watch how attendance change.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
He's doing it in football.
But listen, look at the boxer, Alicia Baumgartner. I don't know if y'all know who she is. She came to her little press conference, where they do way off. The first girl went way, they stripped down the shorts. She came in there in a bathing suit and could nobody take her eyes off of her. And the point I'm making is that, and she even said she makes a lot more money out of the ring than she does in the ring.
Correct. Sex sells. But that's conditioned.
Yeah, but not every woman in the WNBA is going to be able to do that.
Well, no, I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm not disagreeing with that. But no more than every player in the NBA is going to get a Coca-Cola McDonald's deal or a $1 billion Under Armour deal like Steph Curry just got. That everybody's not getting that. It's the same. But what I will say is that, if when you see women doing what we're talking about, putting themselves in a position where they're being objectified, it's because they've been conditioned to see the success because we're giving the feedback to say, hey, we like to see this. Hey, men like to see you half naked. And so therefore, if he likes to see me half naked, let me show myself half naked online and let me get these likes up so YouTube can cut me a check. Right? That's Kim Kardashian got rich for having sex in a pool. That was staged, bro.
You ain't lying.
She had
they couldn't get some different angles.
You can say what you want, but it was genius.
Listen, it was business all day, but the people didn't know it was business. People thought they had a gimmick. Oh man, I get to see Kim K. But Kim K, that was business, bro. That's business, man. And so that's what I'm saying when I say we don't understand business sometimes. We understand consumption, but we don't really understand the business part. And that has a lot to do with our conditioning, right? Like, again, if you really want to understand why women are doing it, just look around. Just look at the ones that are successful. How many women right now successful don't get undressed? I'm waiting.
I ain't seen Nia Long. I wish I could.
Yeah, you've seen her before, though.
But when you talk about success, then and I understand what you're saying because there is levels of success. We all talked about Halle Berry back in the day, right? That was the standard. But once she took it all off, she just went to a whole nother level.
Yes, sir.
So I agree with you totally on that.
Yes, sir.
I agree with you totally on that. But I mean, I just think that it goes to me hand in hand. Yeah, you can sit and say that we sexualize women, but it's put out there that monster is fed.
Mhm.
So we sexualize them, but here you are twerking. Here's every time you turn on the TV, like you say, you got some skimpy outfit on. You got, like I say, Megan's, and you listen. We allow these little girls to watch these people, you know, and we live in a copycat society,
Programming.
right? We copycat what we see, what we think is successful, what we think is going to get us. So go ahead.
So
Here's what I want to ask. Is it wrong? Is it wrong for making the stallion to dress that way? Or is it wrong for us to think that because she dresses that way, that we should be able to put our hands on her, or we should be able to objectify her? Or
No, we ain't talking about putting our hands on them. We talking about just looking. When we talking about
that's what I'm saying. So what I'm saying is which one is wrong?
I think it swings both ways.
Because if
we both have to take responsibility.
Because if we comment on it or we say something on
just
it,
like she has a right to
we
dress,
wrong.
just like she has a right to dress the way she wants.
I should have the right to comment.
I have a right to look.
Or comment.
No, I would disagree with you. I mean, First Amendment. I mean, you got the right to free speech, bro. You can say whatever you want to say. However, you're not free from the consequences of your statements or the consequences.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So
that's all I'm saying. What's
the solution, Gary?
Go ahead.
Gary, so what's the solution? Should we just ignore it when they half naked? Because if we're gonna put the onus back on the man, because we always talk about what comes first, the chicken or the egg. Right. So obviously they're doing that to catch our attention because they know what we want to see.
Listen,
they're trying to get our attention.
But it may not be you and our attention that they want. Because if we comment, don't disrespect me like that.
We know that if women don't get the attention that they want, or it does not turn out the way they want, they have two ways of attacking a man.
Sexual discrimination.
No, it's either he's gay,
that's
or he lacks in his package. That's they come back every time. I watched that. I was looking at something. Yeah. On something, this one dude, he said, "That's all right." He said, "But let him know I still hit."
Yeah, that's right.
He said, "Don't." He said, "Don't." But I mean, we joking, but honestly,
but they know that's triggers for us because we pride ourselves in our performance.
It is.
We pride ourselves in our manhood, so they know that that's a trigger.
They know where to attack.
So, but how do we rise above that? Though we have to rise above that because women will continue to use that because that's a weakness of us. And that's how you get to that alpha male status because women use sex as control. And if we can get from underneath that control, then all of a sudden we can balance the scales.
Damn. Again,
you're upset.
Larry is 100% correct, right? If you think about it, how it all started with all of us, right? We heard some old heads talking about the game, and then we got in the game. And then it became who we were. And then it stopped becoming who we were going to be. It just became like, oh, how many of these things can we get? How can I, right? And so now all of a sudden you become a man by how well you are in bed or how many
you knocked down.
How many you got, right? Right. And so then we start, exactly. So the question is like, you got to unlearn. Well, I shouldn't say a question. We just have to unlearn that behavior. The question is, how do you unlearn the behavior? Well, first of all, you got to start at your house and say, all right, I'm at home. And I'm going to start at home. I'm going to stay at home, right? And I'm going to work through some things. And not everything going to be perfect because we all know, because we all have been in situations in the past where you like, man, listen, I'm going to go ahead and go over here because it's got to be better than what's over here. But it wasn't. That's why everybody's in all new situations now, right? Because it wasn't, right? That's just what it is. And so we have to unlearn. There's three things we have to do in life, bro. We have to learn, we have to unlearn, and we have to relearn. And so the hardest thing to do is to unlearn something. That's the hardest thing to do because to unlearn something means to change. So, but if you can unlearn something, that means you can relearn a new thing. And then that's where you grow. But when you stop unlearning and relearning, that's it, bro. That's it. You stay in right where you at the rest of your life.
Well, and so now when you speak on that and you go back to whenever you learn these things originally, you know, your childhood, or you know, whether like you said from old heads and this and that. So I would do this. So when we were growing up, I think you probably was the first one to jump in the game.
Yep.
And we followed behind what you was doing.
Yeah.
And so I guess we all could blame you.
Yeah, I guess. Watch this. Watch this. So you can blame me, but let's go back and think about it. Like everybody that don't know, Cleve was like the big bro. I was the oldest, but Cleve was the big bro. So if you got people lying to you, I had people lying to me. I had people telling me what they was doing, but they really wasn't doing it, right? But I was like, man, well, why am I not doing it? Because something must be wrong with me. Because if Cleve is hooking up with the girl next door and I'm not, what's wrong with me? Right? Right. So, and every time I turn around, it's Cleve in fresh gear, but I'm not in fresh gear. All the babies hollering at Cleve because he the fastest thing on the east side, on the eastern side of Gal, right? But I'm just K Bell, his sidekick. But I'm the oldest. I'm the oldest, right? But then I'm like, nah, let me make a move and let me show everybody that I'm the man. And I did that. And then I got in the game. Then I realized something. Cleve wasn't even doing half the shit Cleve said he was doing.
Hey, KB, he talked about that earlier. Like,
listen,
shit,
let me tell you, man.
they already labeled me as that.
Listen, Cleve was like big bro to me, man, because he would talk to me and I was like, man, yeah, we gotta do that, bro. Like, we gotta do that, bro. Right? And then I realized after Cleve moved to the west side, I realized I was like, wait a minute, bro. Like, no, we're not supposed to be doing this, man. Right? So if anything, Cleve is a bad influence, dog. So y'all should be careful. Be careful, bro.
We already know, man.
But on a serious note, man, like, you know, this is a good conversation, but it's really something, man. Like we've lost our community, though. We're joking around, but we really lost our sense of community because you know we kind of bought off into all of it, right? We've sold off into it too, right? We're like, all right, nobody live in Galveston no more, right? No one giving back to the community no more. They don't see, ain't no more Ray T. Shepard baseball league. Ain't no more little league, little Jesse Owens, little Olympics. Ain't none of all that stuff is gone now, man. So what do these kids got? They sitting there on their cell phone, talking and chatting and doing whatever, and they don't have no role models, man. And then we're talking about it, but who's listening? Who's taking what we're saying and saying, nah, let's work on this. Let's just work on this little piece right here.
The big thing is, like we were talking about earlier, there's no role models because we're worried about our own, right? Everybody's worried about their family, which rightfully so, but no one is reaching out to the ones who are less fortunate, right? No one's reaching out to the kids that don't have the role models that you're speaking of. That's why we don't have. We're too busy worrying about our children, right? You know, making sure that they're good. So I don't have time to go out and make sure little Johnny know how to shoot a jump shot. Yeah, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. But I think that's my point of saying if everyone that looked like us started in our own homes, then we already collectively are doing it, right? But the problem is again, just like what happened to me when I was young, it still happens right now. Little kid on the block saying, "Man, yeah, man, you know I'm hanging out with baby girl." Oh, for real? You mean the prettiest girl in school? Yeah, man, you know I'm doing A, B, and C. So let me go do it. And then she get pregnant, and then the cycle starts over there, and it's still happening. So what I'm saying is we have to do a better job of forcing men, not the kids. We got to force men that look like us to go back home. Hey, man, take care of your kid, man. Hold people accountable, man. Like I hold mine accountable. My brother, they know. Like, hey, man, If your kid out here acting up, twerking on Twitter, I'm gonna let you know. Hey man, your baby girl out here shaking that thing on Twitter. You need to talk to her because that's not cool. But we're not doing that. We're not saying that, right? If I see Beyonce doing something wrong, I'm gonna tell, hey, young buck, right?
But again, so now you have to look at where we are in society, because most times when you do that, now you face the wrath of the parent.
The village is not allowed to raise the kid.
Yeah, you can't exactly. So you can't say that. But like you say, you know, if you see mine, that's old school. You jump on their ass, then if they which they know better to come and try, because when you tell me, then I'm gonna get on their ass again.
Yeah. But see, what I'm saying is,
it don't tell them nothing wrong.
What I'm saying though is it doesn't have to be me talking to the child at all. That could just be me saying, hey, Cleve, man, you need to talk to, you need to talk to Jay, you need to talk to D, you know what I'm saying? You need to talk to Z, right? You got to talk to him, right? Because this is happening. But we don't do that. What we do sometimes, and I've seen it where, baby girl daughter just got a modeling thing, so she big up in her daughter because she's on some swimsuit thing with some modeling company in Houston or something, and so she got all these half naked pictures out there, and she's like, "Yo, my baby made it, right?" But we're not thinking, because we think it's short term. So you're selling your baby, but you're really not really teaching the baby. Right? We're not doing that. So, and no one's going to that mom and saying, hey, baby girl, listen, if you're going to go this route, let's protect this child and make sure you got a lawyer that's going to make sure all her rights are protected, make sure all the money that's supposed to come in comes into you guys, instead of just going up there ignorant and just signing off on something, and then your baby is not your baby no more. Because we take the first chance we get to succeed. And we forget that, man, success don't come easily. It just don't. All four of us are successful because we had to grind it out.
I got one question though before you get rid of us. Is the Earth flat?
Hey, bro, let me tell you something. In 1492, they say Columbus sailed the ocean blue and discovered it was round. But in 1300, was it flat or was it round?
Flat.
It was round. It's still round, bro.
It's still round, bro. I'm a flat earther all day.
You can fall off the side.
Look, listen, hey man, you go ahead and get off.
The articles all around us. You can't tell me nothing different.
Hey man, you all right with me. You gonna always be all right with me, bro. Pretty Chico.
Hey, man. That is him.
Man, listen, bro. We appreciate you taking your time.
Love you, KB.
Time out your Saturday, because we know how that.
We need to have KB on every show, man.
Because we know how scarce it is, with a brother going to work, doing their thing.
He already knows it's
coming. We talk all the time about it, man. Shit. I catch him shit. Sometimes me and him talk. It'd be 5 a.m. That's the only time we can catch each other. That's but. The thing is, man, we appreciate you taking time out your day. I know you're busy. You probably, got whatever you got to go do. Man, we really appreciate the knowledge, the wisdom, man.
For real.
I'm not above giving you, your props with the knowledge and stuff that and I wish more people could have sat and listened to it and heard it, because it's really beneficial, and we don't do this just to get on here and act a fool or whatever. Whatever you do, you put out there, you hope it can help somebody.
Right. Absolutely.
I've made a ton of mistakes in my life.
Okay, we all have.
I've made a ton. I've led a ton of people astray.
I'm one.
But listen,
KB, you ain't by yourself, dog.
But listen, I've always been that person. Shit, if you gonna follow, I'm gonna lead. Now I don't know where we're going, but seriously, then we've been in, we done been in some situations where everybody mama had them out there, this, that, and the other. So, but, at the end of the day, man, hopefully a word that could come from me, from Z, from Larry, even from yourself on the time that you've been on here, man, listen, we hope that it can help somebody, especially something like this.
Yeah.
Especially it can be a mother or a father can look and be like,
Yeah.
You know, do the same thing.
yeah, and I need to look at how I'm operating and upholding my household with the way that my daughter's at.
Yeah, absolutely.
You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
man, like I said, man, we appreciate you.
Yeah, man.
We hope to have you on again or some other time and where we can get on. I plan on pretty much soon we doing something on the financial side. We definitely like to have you come on and speak more about the app.
Yeah.
I downloaded it, KB.
Hey, man, I appreciate the love, man. Listen, it's going to be improving. Like I said, that's a minimum viable product right now. We're going to try to do a couple more things with some real estate and some other financial calculators, debt calculators, things of that nature, just to put some tools in some people's hands, man, so that we can do a better job of making some quantitative decisions versus some qualitative decisions. And so any support we can get on that, man, I'm all in. And if I can support in any way in the form of anything, man, for you guys, man, I'm all in, man. So
Appreciate you,
I
bro.
appreciate what you guys do, man. I comment because I like the topics. I know y'all be trying to get people in trouble sometimes, so I try to stay away. I know you agree, but it's all love, man, for all three of y'all, man. It's nothing but love, man, and I appreciate Black men really trying to set the example, man, because like you always see me comment, I say something about Black leadership because I think it's lacking, man, and I think we need to do a better job. And so every time I see Black leaders doing something, man, positive, man, it's nothing but love, man. So I wish y'all nothing but the best in y'all show, man.
No doubt, man.
Already.
We appreciate it, bro. We appreciate it. And like I say, we'll definitely reach out to you again, man.
Anytime, bro. Anytime. You know that.
All right, man. Well, you have a good one.
All right, fam. Y'all be
All right,
easy.
KB.
Love you, boy.
Love you.
All right, man. Well, we definitely went over our time. We're not going to even take no break, man. We're going to get some closing thoughts, and we're going to wrap this thing up. Lee?
You going with me first?
Yeah, man. Come on.
Lead off. You the lead up. Hey, my closing thought is, especially with our young women, and we're not excluding the young men because they need guidance as well. But the thing is, we can always say what you get is what you put out. But sometimes with the mothers as well as with the fathers, and I know a lot of us in the African community, you have single parent moms and you have some fathers step up to the fathers. Big shout out to the fathers that's doing the things that a mother should be doing, but they can't be in the role of the mother. We see our young ladies out there, they doing different type of dance styles, conversations, the things they doing, and we always feel that we want our kids to have their own privacy, and so I'm gonna allow them to do this, allow them to do that, but you need to check up on them, because a lot of times your baby is talking to grown men, your baby is on these social media platforms, and they doing things that you feel that is not a threat to you or a threat to them. So with that being said, you need to watch them, you need to see what's going on, and you need to ask questions. If you got male figures that's in education or in the business role, you need to ask them like how, especially if they have a female daughter, what are you doing with your daughter? What is different from what I'm doing with my daughter? Because a lot of times the answers that you may get that you probably wouldn't have never expected. So sometimes we got to lean on each other's shoulders. And like they say, and with one village, it don't raise a kid. It takes the entire village to raise a family. And your kid may not be my kid, but your kid is still my family.
Man, that was awesome. I really don't have too much to add to that, man. I agree with that 100%, bro. You was on it. The only thing I would like to say is that we need to, I think men need to get back into our place in the home and in our relationships as the lead. And I don't think nothing is going to change until that happens. We can blame it on all type of factors. But at the end of the day, you got to get back in there. And when you're in there, you have to speak the truth. We can't live in fear. And I've talked about this a few times before on making sure that we operate in the truth, making sure we do things with integrity and do things honestly, and we provide. We have that provision over our family, and we have. And the main thing is stop trying to get our wives or girlfriends or whoever to like us or even love us, but you want the respect. And the way you get the respect is being consistent. Because the thing about a woman, she's emotional. So that love is going to be like a roller coaster. The main thing is we got to be consistent and be like that rock. And when we speak our truth, we stand by it and don't manipulate and try to get a certain result that we want. And I know I've been guilty of that most of my life, and I'm just starting to change that. So I just feel like those things will help in our relationship of establishing ourselves as being a man and stop trying to please her, but do what the Spirit has told you to be on how to be a man. And I think that'll pretty much that's a starting block of getting our families back in order.
King?
Well, I just think that we all have to be consistent and accountable. We have to hold ourselves accountable before we can hold anyone else accountable. It all starts at home. When I say at home, I mean within that person. That's home. You have to be able to make sure that what I'm preaching is what I'm teaching. If that makes sense. Okay. So if I'm sitting out here preaching out to, you shouldn't objectify women, young girls, or whatever. But I'm teaching something totally different at home. It's not going to fly. So, it's not going to happen overnight, right? It's not going to happen overnight. It's something that we have to build upon. True enough, I hate to put it this way, we might not live to see it, just like other things we talked about. With us truly having equal rights as Black people, if that comes to pass, I'm quite sure we all be dead and gone by the time it does. But some things, you just have to keep pushing for. And like I said before, if you're not willing to do it, no one else is going to do it for you. That's just the bottom line. That's just the bottom line. So if I need a little help here and there, I'm struggling to make it, but I'm not working, you're gonna be like, dude, you feel me? But if you see me going out busting my ass every day, you feel me? You understand what I'm saying?
I'm with you, bro.
I can't look out for you, and I'm going to work every day. You sitting at home watching Netflix, sipping on something. I mean,
And you want me to feel sorry for you?
Yeah, it's just what it is. But anyway.
But before we about to close out?
Yeah, go ahead and get you.
Before we close out, hey, I want to just send out our prayers to one of our brothers, Roger Russell. I don't know if you're watching this. Hey, man, we're here for you. We're praying for you. If you ever need us, reach out to us. Want to send out some birthday shouts out. The legend birthday is coming up because he old as hell. Yeah. No, he really is old as hell. So we'll be celebrating his birthday. Our brother Skip's birthday is coming up. So we want to say,
sure. Johnny Robinson's birthday today.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Oh, well, hey, happy birthday to you. And
Marcus, like I like to call him, Tyler.
His is on the night.
Yeah.
No,
happy birthday.
No, I think it's the day before you. Day before you.
Here's the 8th.
I'm the 8th.
No, here's the 7th.
Happy birthday out to Weenie Dog. Him and Legend, they was running dogs. They got each other in trouble, but we got to keep them separated from one another. And we have one of our brothers who is soon to be married, and Mr. Robert Guillory, aka Swab, the Iceman. Congratulations to you. And am I leaving out anybody else? We got so many.
Dion Lawrence, his birthday, him and Skip the same day.
Hey, Dion, happy birthday to you, Kenfolk. And So what else? We leaving out anybody else?
That's it. You know, all them jokers born the same week, man. We'll discuss that off camera.
Hey, so if we missed out on anybody,
I'm born that same week. We'll discuss that off
don't
camera.
hold
man.
it to our heart, hold it to our mind, because we are old. Well, they are old. I'm a leave your baby.
Maybe they our daddies was all hanging out together, got loaded together. I don't know, man.
Hey,
But,
this being a good show. And hey, like we said before, this is our last broadcast live on Facebook. We'll be going live only on YouTube because of the things that the legend be saying. That's why we be
Content.
Content because of what he be saying. But we will be live on YouTube as well as on Station Head. On YouTube, please subscribe to our channel, hit the thumbs up. Anytime we go live or we upload videos, you'll get an alert. On Station Head, download the app.
We're still gonna post the link on Facebook.
Yeah, we're still gonna post the link. So anytime we do a show, we'll post the link. You still be able to go back and view that show. And we'll be live on Station Head. Download the Station Head app. Follow the Upper Room. You can listen to our podcast shows if you are a Spotify subscriber or Apple Music subscriber.
Let me ask you this. So if we post the link, will they still be able to see it live? If we post it on Facebook?
They'll just be able to see.
So they have to come to YouTube to see it.
Well, no. If we live and post the link, if they click on the link, they'll be able to come on live.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But if they miss the show, they can click on the link and go back and look at the show. And also, with that being said, if you want to put that picture up, King, October the 15th, a Galveston native, one of our very own, Kimball
We got him up.
But anyway, please tune in for that. And like I said, we really appreciate y'all tuning into our show. We appreciate your support, but we got to go into a different direction because of the legend, and we only will be going live on YouTube as well as on Station.
All right, man. Well, again, man, we definitely enjoyed getting back out here. Enjoyed our guest
in the studio, bro.
Yeah, he was really. It's been a while since we all been together, man.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
You know, because legend had COVID, monkeypox, and all of that, and all of that. But seriously,
you knocked over the camera.
Oh, yeah,
we had to get new equipment.
Yeah, we had to get new equipment, bro. I just looked at it.
That was 3 years ago, man.
Dude, I just looked at it. I was like, God, man, how much money? I had to buy a new camera. But anyway, but anyway, like I said, man, we definitely appreciated those who took the time out. That Saturday, we know we all working, so you get your weekend. You want to let your hair down. You know, I know y'all going to the jungle down there. Legend gonna be there tonight.
Yeah.
Hey man, come get an autograph. Yeah, come get an autograph. Take a picture with me. Same OG. he might hit you with that little slide
in them jeans.
He can't do it like he used to, but he's same OG. But anyway, man, we like to clown and have a good time, man. As a brother, we love him. We give him a hard time because he come in so uptight about starting on time. Who late?
He ain't got the clock.
Yeah. He ain't got a clock. He normally have a little clock. We time it. I go to it, he hitting the cleat, going too far. You got 13 seconds. Oh, come on. But anyway, man, we're gonna have a good time. It's our last day on Facebook. We're gonna curse a little bit and everything else. Don't block
us. We're gonna curse in the whole.
Yeah, that's what I say. Don't block it. You blocking all the rest of it. But anyway,
from 4 and 5 years ago,
we started off bad talking about peaches and cream.
But anyway, with that being said, we're gonna let y'all go, man. We appreciate it. God bless.